Welcome, Querent, who has chosen group number 3 for the tarot card reading, What Are They Not Telling Me? So if you've chosen this group, you have chosen the card of Aim, which is the Five of Cups representative. And I just want to show you this card so that you make sure that this is the one that you chose. And if it is, let's get down into it. Group number 3. I'm going to shuffle this deck 3 times, and then we are going to look at the scenario. I will call out the designation for the cards as I place them so that you know what every single one of them will pertain to. And let's have a look-see. Last round. Here we go. This card represents yourself. This card represents the person in question. This card represents the scenario between you. This card represents what they allow you to see, what they put forward. This card is what they are hiding. This card is the reason as to why. And this card is the advice for that in regards to the scenario. So let's flip them. Okie dokie. Let's have a look. Group number 3, you are represented by the 10 of Wands. And what that tells me is that you've got a lot on your plate in regards to this scenario. So you may be carrying a lot of stuff on your back. You may be the maybe primary caregiver or the authority figure or the more mature individual out of this scenario, but the one taking on the bulk of the responsibility for whatever this narrative is. The individual in question is represented by Temperance reverse. This could really indicate a frozen camera. Just 1 second. Surprise! I'm back. I assume my camera's overheating or something. I apologize. But the person in question is represented by the Temperance card. And the Temperance reverse was very much about possible instabilities, possible addiction issues, I won't lie. And this is not the case for everyone. But Temperance is very much out of balance. So if this person is unstable in one way or another because of overindulgent in anything, whether it's finances, food, substance abuse, etc. So the issue between the two of you is the Page of Cups reversed. So again, I get this sense of either you were at one point in a relationship with each other, or that you do have an emotional connection between one another. So let's just say I get the sense of maybe your family and there's some problems on one side and you still care, but at the same time it's toxic and you have to keep distance between you. This can also be a narrative in a relationship or a relationship that's ended but is still having lingering attachments to it. What the person is putting forward, which I find really interesting, is the the 9 of Pentacles reversed. And what I get from that is that this person may tell you that they just can't do it without you. Like, they need you. They can't live on their own. They can't support themselves. They can't afford it. They can't whatever. That's what they're putting forward to you, is that they cannot be independent from you. What they're hiding is the 5 of Pentacles reversed. And what I really get from that is that it's not as bad as they're telling you, or that they can, like, they're not as destitute. Perhaps they are taking money from you, or perhaps they are taking or giving responsibility over to you more so that they have more time, or whatever it is. They may not be in as much destitution as they are letting on by talking about that they can't be independent on their own with that Nine of Pentacles reversed energy. It's rather kind of manipulative sounding, actually, I'm not going to lie. And what is the motivation for them not telling you that is the World card reversed. And what I get from this group number 3 is that they don't want it to end. They don't want to change. Whatever it is that the scenario is, if it's toxic behavior or if it's being supported by you and therefore they have an easier life, etc., because they don't have to do as much, whatever this deal is, they don't want to give it up. They don't want it to change. They're happy with it being the way that it is. So they're not telling you that they could probably take on more, do more. When it comes to the advice for you, my dear group number 3, is the Justice card. And this very much says you're going to have to pass judgment. You're going to actually have to weigh the scales and bring things into balance yourself. And what does that look like? I can't give you the answer for that because it's different. This is a general reading and it's different for everyone. But this is more about taking the seat of a judge and looking at a thing, trying to be third party to it. Or maybe it would be even good to like consult third party, someone who's not as attached or involved. Because if you are giving so much to this person and feel like you need to take care of them and it's weighing down on you and it's really hard and heavy, and they're enjoying getting this because they can continue doing what they need to do, you are equally wrapped up in this narrative, and it may be hard for you to be able to look at this from a justice place. So maybe getting a person who is not as partial to this scenario, who is third party, to help give you some clarity, or maybe it's actually going to a professional and having discussions around this. Just as an example, not the case for everyone, but let's just say the person is addicted to substances, right? And instead of you going, like for them, a person who is addicted to substances would go seek counseling for that, but there are support services for people who are the non-addicted person, who are engaged with or having to deal with the person who has the substance issue. So there are supports for the other person, and that might be a route that one may want to go as looking for third-party information. They could give you probably more research-based, logical advice kind of thing, which is, again, this narrative of the justice. What is truly balanced? Can you handle letting that person have to take on stuff themselves because they actually can, or are you willing to be crushed under the weight? Because it's 10 of Wands, it seems pretty heavy, and if you just keep going, you're just gonna like get squashed under carrying the weight of the world, literally, in this imagery, right? And what comes up overall, and I think this is a narrative between the two of you, AIM is the representative of the Five of Cups, which is the card that can go with emotional low or depression, and it may make you emotionally low to feel like you have to let them go because you may feel like you're being a bad person in some way. They may be dealing with substance issues or whatever imbalances because they're in a depressive place as well. So depression may be a thing for one or both of you. That may differ for people all around. But it does seem like in this particular scenario, group number 3, if this reading is resonating with you, the person is far more capable than they're letting on because they don't want to change. They like what they're getting, and yet you're over here struggling and suffering. That is pretty unbalanced and unfair sounding to me, and I really support the notion of the Justice card here, of needing to bring things back into balance and be more fair and equal. So group number 3, that's your reading. Not exactly lighthearted, but I hope it's helpful. Please engage, do the like, share, subscribes, you know, all the things. Let me know if there are other types of questions you'd like me to explore through these question-based tarot readings, putting up some other content that you may be interested in viewing. So please explore around, and I hope this reading was helpful for you. Till next time, group number 3, we will see you later.